Tell us what you know about that first.
Well, about 7:10, we received a call about a lady that had drove up into a yard and said that she had been stabbed. And when we got there, we found out, that indeed a lady had been stabbed. She was transported to the hospital there in Mansfield, and where she later died. And come to find out that it was going to be a 15-year-old juvenile that was living with her that had committed the crime. Her name was Yolanda. She was born in '79, and this was her nephew that she was keeping. Basically, he had been in some trouble, and she had took him in trying to help him, and this is what happened to her.
Any details about what the argument, the fight was about?
But really, we don't even know if there's an argument. I mean, we just don't know for sure that there was an argument. From what we can understand, that he just woke up and she was asleep, and he went over there and went to stab her.
She was stabbed several times?
Oh, yes, numerous times.
Oh, okay. Did you have any criminal background on him? Was he someone you were familiar with?
He was a juvenile. We was familiar with him. Resources were familiar with him. And like I said, because currently he was in the alternative school, so he was a name that we weren't familiar with. And like I said, this was his aunt that had took him in because everybody else had kind of given up on him, and she was just trying to help him.
What's he charged with? Second-degree murder?
That's correct.
Okay. Where is he being housed now? What are y'all doing with him?
Well, I'm sure he will be at where is where I heard them talk. They hadn't actually secured a place last night, but that was where they were trying to get him. So actually, I do not know that at this time, but that's where I would have to guess that he was trying to be transported to.
Were there any witnesses to this?
No.
No.
Okay.
Mr. Rodney, Erin was talking to me. She said the real reason that you guys were chatting originally yesterday was clear me up on this. You found a bunch of cars in the river?
Well, probably a month or two ago, I had acquired some sonar equipment through Homeland Security. I got one for the rescue boat for the Sheriff's Department and got one for the dive boat that is housed there in Logansport at the fire district there. And while, playing and trying to learn this stuff, just running it through the river, the fire department had located a boat. I mean, I'm sorry, not a boat, but what appeared to be a vehicle there at the Logansport, right there at the boat ramp at the bridge. And also down the river on the Texas side appeared to be 3 vehicles at one of their boat landings. And last week we went in there with Shelby County Sheriff, Sheriff Blackwell, and tried to recover one that was over on their side. And it had been there so long, it just kind of came out in pieces. So it wasn't really very good recovery. And it appeared from last I'd heard from Sheriff Blackwell and them to be an older model vehicle in the 80s model. And it just, like I said, come out in pieces. And they seemed to think from what they looked at, it might have been an older model Cadillac. And then...
So, pardon me, what do you do in that? Do you look at the license plate? You call up and say, hey, we found your car. You owe us X to take it out. How did any idea how cars end up in the river?
Well, that's a very popular way to dump a stolen car, or even to hide, a body if you had it, in there. So, that's our concern is whether, it's a body in there. The stolen cars, you're able to clear that case up, just like the one we got out of the river this week. We got a newer model vehicle. It came out together. I mean, it damaged coming out where you drug it across the bottom and everything, but it still had the license plate on it, and we were able to find out that it was stolen out of Shelby County across the river, and then later, brought across the river and dumped into the river there.
I would think the job of popping the trunk on one of those would not be the most beloved. That's not the favorite gig on the Sheriff's Department, is it?
No, it really not. But the thing is, if it did have someone's body in it, at least you'd be able to give maybe some closure and then give you some leads to work. and give a family member some closure if you was able to find the loved one that's been missing for a long time.
You got 2 more cars down there. Y'all gonna try to pull those out?
From what I understand, I think there's 2 more on the Texas side, and I think today, if everything goes right, I think the fire department's going to go back down there and try to see if they can lift one of them. And that not only that, it's helping them learn rescue techniques and recovery techniques by trying different ways and seeing what they can do to get these up more intact than what we've been able to do in the
just as an aside,
weeks.
Sheriff, how deep is the water there?
Basically, the ones in Shelby County are sitting around 40 foot of water, and I think the one at Logansport was sitting at 32 foot of water.
Wow. Sheriff Rodney Arbuckle, DeSoto Parish, thank you for your time this morning. I know it's been a late night.
Y'all have a good day.
Take
Great
care.
stuff as always. Thank you very much.